Hi guys, it's Janet Wakeland with RemarkablyCreated.com. In today's One Take Wonder video, we're going to create this card together. This card features the Lotus Blossom stamp set. It's an amazing 3-step stamp set that you can select as one of your free gifts with a $50 purchase during Celebration. And then we're also going to be using one of my favorite stamp sets from the spring catalog, the Big On You stamp set. So for this project, the Lotus Blossom stamp set is a 3-step stamp set. And what you'll notice is inside with the piece of acetate that has the images on them, the images are numbered 1, 2, and 3. And these little arrow-shaped tabs are actually on the images as well. But these were designed so that you would stamp them in the order 1, 2, 3. And you're going to start with the outline working to the solid image. And it seems a little backwards from maybe how you're used to using our layering stamps, our 2-step stamps. But it does work, and we're going to do that together. So we're going to grab them. What I have is I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock cut 4.5 or 4 1/4, excuse me, by 5.5. So 4 1/4 by 5.5. I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut to 4 inches by 5.5 inches, and then I have a smaller piece that's 3 inches by 5 inches. I like to just layer on the inside so I have a nice clean surface for stamping my message and writing my message. So that's what we're working with. We'll set that aside. I'm working with 3 different ink colors. Blackberry Bliss, which it's one of my favorite colors. I absolutely love Blackberry Bliss. It is so rich. Strawberry Slush, and then Blushing Bride. And I picked my color combination from the Artisan Embellishment Kit. This is another product from our spring catalog. But I really love this narrow Blackberry Bliss velvet ribbon. It just adds an element of texture to the cards in a really simple way. So we're going to start first with our darker color. And again, there's a little tab on them. And we're just going to stamp these. And I was just twisting and turning it a little bit so that the flowers kind of tumbled down the side, and then we'll turn it and we'll stamp one up in the upper left-hand corner. Now, you will notice that your photopolymer stamps are going to stain, especially when you're using some of the reds. Some people may be a little uncomfortable with that. When you wash them, as long as you've washed all of the ink off of them, the staining does not impair the ability to have a really nice, clean image. For me, the staining just indicates which stamps I've actually used and which ones I just hoarded and had to have on the shelf but have never used. So, but just be aware that they will stain. Now you can look right down through, or you can do, as I have done, and put the arrow in the one corner. For me, I always put it in the upper left-hand corner. Or you can simply look through the stamps. Either way works for lining them up. And let's get our flower up here in the corner. You're going to want to make sure if you're stamping off that you have a nice piece of paper underneath. I love to work on Stampin' Up's 11 by 17 grid paper, and that's also available in our catalog. Kind of captures all of the ink. And this is the last one that's going over top. And here you can see we've got our flowers tumbling down the side. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add our greeting. And it's a little bit of a bigger stamp, so I like to take my ink right to the stamp instead of pushing the stamp on the pad. In addition, because it's a larger photopolymer stamp, I like to work on a squishy surface. This is our paper piercing mat, so it gets to do double duty working with paper piercing. But then it's also going to work using my larger photopolymer stamp. So it's a nice item to have if you're working with photopolymer stamps. And we're just going to press straight down. I just run my fingers over the block where I can see the image underneath, and then lift, and I have our nice image here just like that. So now the next thing that we want to do is to take a piece of this Blackberry Bliss ribbon, and we'll cut it slightly longer than each side of the card because I want to wrap it around to the back of the card. And make sure that the fuzzy side is up. And we're just going to fold that to the back. I have 2 little strips of sticky strip cut. I could put just a little bit of adhesive under there like snail, but I find that some of these thicker ribbons, just that little extra security of sticky strip just really holds those edges, and then they don't come working their way back out. And so now I can take my snail, which was right in front of me in plain view, and I'm a lot of snail person. And you're going to have voids where those are, and so, oops, what I'm going to do is right here on the card, approximately where the ribbon's going to be, I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive as well. And we'll flip that around and put that on. And there we have our nice, simple, clean card. It's your day using the Lotus Blossom and Big on You stamp set. So have fun creating your cards with Lotus Blossom. Stop by to shop at remarkablycreated.com and check out my other Make Along With Me projects. Happy watching. Happy day. God bless.